up, everybody? This is Lex Gillette, and we are here another episode of Site School. Got my man Joseph Gray, Marquise Price on the line. Also, what's going on, fellas?
What's good?
Hey, I hope y'all got them good spectacles on. We got a good episode for you. Hey,
Oh man, hey.
before we get started, real quick, just make sure y'all go ahead and give us those likes and those follows. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and right now you're listening to it on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like, comment below, and make sure you share this interview with somebody. But let's go ahead and kick it off. Lex, why don't you tell them who we got with us today?
As you all probably remember, one of the big initiatives for us was really wanting to bring some other individuals onto the show and to talk to them about their life and their journey, where they've been, where they are right now, and where they're going to be in the future, what their vision is, what they're planning on doing. Today we have a really awesome young man with an absolutely incredible story that you are going to get to hear. Let me get my words right. And with no further ado, we're gonna bring him in, Kijuan Amey. Kijuan Amey, what's going on, boss?
What is going on, Lex? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I like that energy. You sounding good.
Hey,
sounding strong.
He ready to go.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here for y'all. I'm here for the people. I'm here to bring Site School to the map. Let them know what's going on.
Let them
Yes,
know.
sir.
Teaching them to see. Teaching people to see us. And I already know you are certainly going to do that today. Where you at right now, Kijuan? Where you located?
I'm located in Durham, North Carolina, what we call here the Bull City.
Okay.
Because I'm a Tar Heel. So
That's what I'm
Heels,
talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
if you was a Duke fan, man, hey, Lex was going. I don't know.
He had some heat for
I
you.
already know what he was going to do because he a Tar Heel.
Joseph was going to hit that unrecord button, that stop button.
Yeah, I was gonna have to edit that piece out.
I'm with him.
Absolutely. Hey, so you grew up in Durham?
Born and raised, bro. Born and raised.
Wow. There we go. Just give us a little bit of background about just about your childhood. How was it growing up in Durham? Just how did that look from your perspective? I grew up in Raleigh. At 8 years old, I started to lose my sight. So I know yours happened a little later, but before we get to that, just to talk about your childhood, was it pretty, for lack of a better term, normal? What does that look like?
Okay. Yeah, a little bit about my childhood. Well, I'm currently 29, but a little bit about my childhood growing up in Durham, man. I'm actually in the house that I grew up in right now, which is over here located near North Carolina Central University. And then, I went to Shepherd Magnet Middle School. That's James E. Shepherd. And I don't know if y'all know, but James E. Shepherd also founded North Carolina Central University.
Tell 'em.
So facts, man, I'm a history kind of guy, man. I love that stuff. And so, I went to James E. Shepherd, but then I had to transfer to Neal Middle School, but I didn't want to leave Shepherd. But again, it kind of helped me grow because I was, a little comfortable. And they say you need to be uncomfortable to grow. So I had to get out of my comfort zone, man. And that's what I did. I had to meet new friends, new coaches, because I ran track and played football in school. So
Okay.
What was you got track people on the line right now? What were your events?
Well, tell us what were your disciplines in track? What were you doing?
My events, middle school and high school. I'll tell you all of them. So I did the 100 100 meter, 110, I guess you could say, hurdles. And then I did the 4x1. I did the 400 meter. I did the 200. I did long jump and high jump. And I believe, they did throw me in the 800 once. But yeah, that's what I did, man. I did all of those.
What position were you in football?
Man, here we go again. Let me count them off. So from middle school and high school, I played wide receiver, free safety, corner, strong safety, and outside linebacker. I played all of those.
Well, he was all purpose.
Yeah, man. I did something. And then when I played flag football, I actually played quarterback too. So I've played all those positions, man. And I coached.
Renaissance man.
Hey, I'm a game.
Listen,
I just love to study the game, man. That was just something I loved. And so when I studied it, it was easy to apply what I learned as a player in that position. So where, actually kind of funny, but I told y'all I transferred from Shepherd over to Neal.
Mm.
And when I went over to Neal for my 8th grade year, we beat Shepherd to win the conference championship.
I
So
know
I
they was
guess I was
mad
on
at
the
you.
right side of the fence, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
had some
all
Hey.
my
folks
friends
sick
was
on
like,
that other
bro,
side.
that's messed up, bro.
Mhm.
But then, I went on to go play football at Southern High School in Durham.
After high school, what was you doing?
Yeah, it was kind of a tough little scenario, man. When I was trying to go either play sports in college, because like I said, I was into sports very, very hard. My brother, he's also into sports. He had a full ride scholarship to Coastal Carolina playing defensive line, and he also went on to play arena football. And he coaches it now too, so he does a lot with it. And so I was trying to do my thing since I used to go to the same types of camps and all this other stuff with him, or follow his footsteps. So I was like, yeah, all right, that should be me too. Well, that wasn't me. I wasn't as big as him. Number one, because we don't have the exact same genetics. We just have the same mother. So he grew to be 6'3". I was only 6 foot. He grew to be 260. I was only 175, soaking wet. you know,
Yeah.
so it was a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I went on to go to the world's greatest Air Force, man. I went in to become an in-flight refueling specialist, dude. And when I heard it, I'm like, what is that? Okay, I get it. It's in-flight refueling. I mean, you could kind of guess, but at the same sense, I don't like guessing, especially not with the military, because everybody kept giving
Right.
me these red flags. Hey, man, don't volunteer for nothing. So I'm like,
Right.
all
Yeah.
right, well, what am I getting into? So he was like, man, you should really do this job. I think you should sign up for this one. I'm like, okay, what is it? He was like, what? Nobody showed you what this is? I said, I don't think I would be asking you that question if I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
so he turns around to his computer and pulls it up. I said, I'm sorry, that's a job? like like what? This is a job where you literally refuel planes in mid-air? Okay, you tripping. Like something ain't right.
Right. So tell us, what's that entail? How are you filling planes while they're in the sky?
Oh my God, man. So listen, it already dates back to a long time ago. I ain't even gonna get into all the history on it because it's very, very crazy. But anyway, I flew on the older model plane, which is the KC-135. It's literally a pole, like a metal pole, which is I believe like if I want to do my math correctly, it's about I think it's 20 or 30 feet long,
Mhm.
attached to the back of the airplane.
The airplane
Now,
that you're in.
yeah, that I'm in. Now,
Okay.
with that being attached to the airplane, okay, how they gonna get the gas? Well, me being the boom operator or the in-flight refueling specialist, I have to go from the front cockpit all the way to the back
Mhm.
and climb down into this little compartment, which we call the boom pod. I open up a sighting window. So yes, I do have to open up a window, but there's a glass there. It's not like wide open or nothing like that.
Mhm.
And I'm looking out, and now I have to lower the boom, is what we call it. And then it comes down into your point of view where you can see it now, and you're able to fly it around with this thing called a rotator control stick. You can fly it all around, dude. And man, and crazy enough, I was blessed, man, to be able to also go to instructor school so that I can learn how to teach it. So I was actually teaching this too, man. So
So what?
it's not. Go ahead,
I was just gonna say. So what kind of planes are you filling up? Are you
dude.
refilling
Everything.
like fighter jets? You refilling?
Yeah, yeah, man. Everything.
Man.
Fighters, bombers, cargo planes, reconnaissance planes. You could even refill Air Force One if need be.
Oh man.
You
While
know what
it's
I'm
in the
saying?
air.
Like, yeah, man. This is whatever needs to be refueled. You get all this stuff is planned out, by the current ops team.
Mhm.
They get all the information that for the planes that need to be refueled and the location that they're getting refueled. Whether I am going to be refueling right over the coast of North Carolina, or if I'm going to be taking somebody from North Carolina picking them up in like Boston and going all the way over to England or something. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how this stuff works, man.
Man, listen, hey, I'm ready to, because all of this, I could talk about this forever, but I want to get to the,
Yeah,
I
I
want to get
got
to
I
the
got a lot
point.
of questions, but
to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, if we can get to, all of us are visually impaired on
Yeah.
this call, and you acquired your visual impairment. You know, you're probably a little younger in the game when it comes to low vision, and so if you can talk to us and tell us about your experience, how it happened, and you know, just really paint that picture.
Yeah, I can do that very well, man. Shit, yeah, so it was one really beautiful sunny day, man, May 5th, 2017, excuse me. And what some might call Cinco de Mayo, I call my new life, okay? Because that's really what it ended up being. I literally was just getting finished up with shooting some pictures of my church, man, because I'm into photography and I had my own business and that was a part of my business and I was shooting shots for my church for my church website. Then, you know, I was on my bike, man. I was on my motorcycle and I was like, yo, I really like riding because, you know, riding from my apartment to the church is only like 5 minutes. It was like 5 minutes for me to get there. I'm like, this ain't
Right.
gonna satisfy my ride. You know, I
Right.
need to get a little bit of a ride in.
Feel that
and stuff.
breeze.
I'm feeling it. Yeah, man, I'm feeling it. It's really nice outside. You can't just put the bike up after that. So
yeah,
I went for a ride to Jordan Lake. For those of you who don't know, that's like for my church, it's about 25, 30 minutes away from, I guess you could say, South Austin Avenue to that area. So yeah, it's about 25, 30 minutes and of a ride. And so that's just one way. And you know, I go sit out on this little dock where I always sit at, man, because it's free. Yeah. So, you know, as I'm getting ready to I look at my clock and see that I need to head home, you know, pack up my bag and whatnot, because I done missed out on my nap time that I was gonna be doing. So I was like, well, let me go pack my bag so that I can go down to the base. Well, on my way home from you know, the lake, this Honda Accord, man, it was a silver Honda Accord, pulls out in front of me, dude. I got three options. And I try to tell everybody this. I had three options now. I could go right and veer off into the trees. I could go left and go into oncoming traffic,
Mm.
or I could hit him head on.
Man.
Now, none of this is looking really good. None of these options. Like I ain't got
Right.
because
Right.
a lot of people think bikes can just stop like on the dime. That is the worst vehicle that can stop because of the surface area of the tire.
Right.
It's very limited. So I've skid on that bike more than once, and I really hate that I have. You know, it was a couple times I almost laid that bike down, and I'm glad I did. But you know, this was the worst one and the last one, to be honest, because I'll never get back on one. But I took the car on, man, and you know, my face ended up smashing into the car. You know, I had my face all crushed in. Of course, broke both of my legs, my back. So I was all kind of messed up, man. I have two metal plates in my head. I got two rods and 12 screws in my back, and I don't even know a number of rods I have in my legs, man. I just don't even know. I have an ulcer on my left leg. It's like which is an open. Well, it used to be an open wound,
Right.
but you know, we got that all taken care of. And I had to have my right eye when my face got crushed in. My right eye got popped out, and I think it was popped out because the bottom eyelid was ripped off. Now how did all this happen, dude? Don't even get me lying. I don't know. I'm now knocked out, unconscious. Okay, so I had to be life flighted to UNC Hospital. So go Tar Heels again. Appreciate y'all saving my life. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I had to be life flighted to UNC. You know, they're literally doing surgeries on me just because. It was that was what they were doing. They were doing those just because surgeries. They didn't think I was gonna make it. I literally had the doctor who did my spine he told me, he said, when I went to do your surgery, when they called me in there to do that surgery, I was literally just following protocol. I did not think you would make it.
They thought you
Yo,
already
that's
did.
so yeah, that's so
Hmm.
Man, that's
crazy
crazy.
because when I was listening to the link, Kijuan has a link
Hmm.
of him sharing his story. And I'm not, is that your
Hmm.
church? Is that your church
Yeah,
that you
that's
were?
my church.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my church.
So he was at his church and he's sharing his story. And so for him to say that, for him to be in the doctor's office and for these professionals who are operating on you in an attempt to get you back to living life,
Hmm.
for them to say those types of things, I'm like, wow, that's absolutely, that
It's
is just
crazy.
wild to me.
And you know what, Lex? I feel you on that. And you know what I ended up doing? I
What's that?
turned it. I turned that. I said, you know what? I could take this and be upset that he said that to me. But what I ended up doing was saying, that right there lets me know how much of a miracle I really am.
There you go.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
was
Like
gonna
that
say
showed
miracles
me,
do come true, man.
They do come true.
yeah,
Miracles
You
man,
also,
happen.
but
that
you
just
had that
spoke to
will to
me.
live though. You had that
Yeah,
will to
that too.
live.
That too, man. And a lot of people, a lot of the doctors and nurses said that if it wasn't for my health, me being healthy, I probably would not have made it. Because
So do this.
I told you I played sports. I was, of
Right.
course, in the Air Force, so I had to run. Me being healthy is what helped me live as well, because your
So,
body could endure that kind of punishment. You
so
know,
as you going through and they're having these surgeries, is this happening over, a couple of hours? Is this happening over a couple of days? Tell us once you get into UNC, once you get to the hospital, what's from what they told you, what was going on? Because clearly you're
I,
unconscious at this point.
yeah, oh man, yeah, medically induced coma. So I wish I had the number for y'all, the exact number, but I'm just going to put it like this: countless number of surgeries.
Man.
Going in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, people coming by to see me in the ICU, but I got to go to another surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was, and this was just for a month of me being in a medically induced coma. That was the first month I was at UNC. So from May 5th until June 6th, I remember nothing. And then
Mm.
June the 6th, I wake up in my hospital bed at Duke. I mean not Duke, UNC, and I'm like, uh, I'm hearing voices and stuff. I'm like, man, what y'all doing in my room? Like, cause I'm thinking I'm at
Yeah.
home. I thought
You
I was
didn't
in
know
Yeah.
where you was
my room.
at,
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm asleep or something. Like, man, you don't get up out my
man.
room.
So you can't
Yeah.
even remember anything from May 5th
Nothing,
to June 6th. That's crazy.
nothing, bro. I remember absolutely nothing. So if somebody came by my room or to visit me in ICU, I know nothing. I know
Mm.
only thing I know is what you told me happened. You could have told me you gave me $1 million and took it back, and I believe you.
So
Man,
as you,
hey.
Man, give me that
man,
money
come
back.
on. Yeah, give me that.
You know
So
what I'm
as you
saying?
so
But yeah,
so as you starting to wake up, what's like to describe to the people, like how was your body feeling? What was your mental state? Because there's so much going on.
I'll be honest, man. When I first woke up, they must have had me on some good drugs, man, because I didn't feel too much.
Hmm.
I was gonna be honest, I didn't feel too much. The one thing, because I didn't move, I was just curious. I was like, why are y'all in my room? Like that was my whole mindset, was being curious. What's going
Mm.
on? Why are y'all in my room? Hold up, y'all having a conversation about a motorcycle accident? Who had that? And that's what I'm thinking.
Mm.
Remind you, I have not even said that I can't see yet. This is just me being
Wow.
curious.
Yeah.
So are you up, and it sounds like almost like when you woke up you still kind of dreaming a little bit. It sounds like.
Yeah, well, at least I felt like I was. So
Yeah.
so you know how like you might be asleep but partially asleep,
Yeah.
and you feel like, oh, I'm still in my dream, so I can keep my eyes closed. That's what I felt like.
Got you.
I
But it
felt
was
like my
real.
eyes were still closed. Really, they were open already. I just couldn't see nothing.
Got you.
And
Now this
so now I'm like, wait a minute, what is this motorcycle dream y'all talking about? So I try to go and speak to my mom because I hear her voice. So I'm like, whoa, I can't talk. Hold up. Yeah,
Mm.
my mouth was wired shut.
Mm.
oh wow.
Mm.
my mouth was wired shut because I had damage done to my teeth as well. And then in order for me not to damage the reconstructive surgery they did to my face, they didn't need for my mouth to be opening up. So they
So
wired
how
it shut.
so how long was you in a state of kind of like that awake and not being awake? And then it sounds
Man,
like you
listen.
probably can't. Can you move your arms? Can you move your legs?
Yeah, so I could move my arms. My arms were fine. Nothing was damaged to my arms. Like no broken
Mm-hmm.
bones on my arms, thank the Lord. I only got like a little road rash. That's about it. But I had my jacket on, so that I think that's what protected me on my arms. But anyway, yeah, man. So waking up and finally trying to say something, I'm like, yeah, what are y'all talking about with this whole motorcycle accident? And my mom cannot understand me because again, I can't open my mouth.
Right.
So she's now trying to hand me a notepad to write on. Okay, mom, I can't see. How am I gonna write? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? She knows I can't see, but she said, "You've been writing. We've been doing this the whole time." And I'm like, "What whole time? I just woke up today."
Right.
So at some point in time, I was able to still function, but not be mentally there.
Mm.
I had been writing to them like this whole time, or for some reason. Like she was like, "You've been reacting the whole entire time. The only time you don't react is when they heavily sedate you for surgeries and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, again, I don't know what's going on, but can you help me?" And so that's when
Mm.
she had, of course, I wrote on there. I'm all angry writing. You ever see somebody angry write?
No.
That's what I did. I was angry writing. What is this
Mm.
motorcycle accident y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Uh, and so that's when she told me, the car pulled out in front of me, and all the good stuff that I already mentioned to you guys. But
Now, was
yeah,
she
man.
for her to speak on that? Was she there? Like, are these things that you're telling her? I'm trying to. If she's able to
So
say a car pulled out in front. So I mean,
yeah,
well, obviously,
yeah.
I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to ask was she there because I
Oh
know you
yeah,
would have
no,
mentioned that.
no,
So
no. That's
the
cool. That's
police
cool.
report and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um.
yeah. That's what it was.
Okay. And
Yeah, so it was well, real quick, it was a police report that she got it from, and then of course talking to the officer,
got
who
you.
who came to the scene, and talked to actually two witnesses as well. They saw the whole thing. There were two witnesses right behind the car that pulled out in front of me, who stated
Mm.
on the police report they don't know how he didn't see me.
Mm.
Gotcha.
This is on the
Right.
police report now. And so that's why I'm like, this is bothering me so bad. But
Right.
anyway, so she got all that information from the police officer. But listen, let me tell you, I mean, y'all probably got the gist of it. But my accident occurred like I don't know, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon,
Mm.
and my mom did not find out about my accident until 10 o'clock at night.
Man.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Do you understand the gap? That's a 7 to 8 hour difference.
Yeah.
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 Now, what happened was me being in the military, they say that you're allowed to, leave your previous address on your license. So I still had my Goldsboro address versus my Durham address
Mm.
Mm.
because the base is down in Goldsboro, and that's
Right.
where I used to stay.
Okay. Yeah. Seymour.
So yeah, Seymour. Shout out Seymour Johnson, Shady J.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the officer sent, I get in the accident. The officer sends a unit down to the address located on my license. Get there, I got it now. All right, so yeah, nobody down there knows me because nobody lives there that I either lived with because I did have a roommate, but he's already out of the Air Force now, and you know nobody's there. So luckily they saw in my wallet that I had a military ID, and it said
Mm.
Air Force. I was like, oh, okay, Air Force Base, Goldsboro, Seymour Johnson connection. Oh yeah, let's go to the gate. They go up to the gate, ask if this airman is stationed here. They scan my ID and they say yes, he is. All this good stuff. Talk to my chief pilot, who gets in touch with my chief boom. They all contact my mama, and she is directly in the middle of Walmart. Listen, guys, I don't know if y'all can put yourself in this mindset, but
I
if
can
you
only
are a
imagine.
parent,
Man,
yes, if
come
you
on.
are a parent right now, and
Yeah.
you get a phone call after you've been trying to contact your son all day to invite him over for dinner now. She's been trying to contact me for dinner that day. And then at 10 o'clock at night, you and your husband get a phone call saying your son is in critical condition at UNC Hospital. You should probably head over there soon.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's you can't, I can't even fathom. So when
the whole
so when you were coming out of it, right, and you
Mm-hmm.
you starting to realize, all right, my mouth's wired shit, they coming in and telling you these things. What's your thought process in regards to your vision? Because what are you seeing? I mean, are you having any light perception? Is everything black? Do you see just a little bit? Like, what is your mindset with how you're taking in this information? Because clearly you're hearing everything, but your senses in regard to your sight, what's going on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard everything, man. You know, hearing was crazy, of course, because it was getting heightened since that's my only real sense that I had to discover things other than touch. Because I also lost my sense of smell.
Okay.
Doing reconstructive surgery to my face. So smell I don't have anymore. I still have my taste. But you know, with the sight thing, man, I can see light perception, but it's not that bright in those hospital rooms to where you can see it. So it was like sunlight that I could see. If I was outdoors, I'm like, yo, where are my shades type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I get a little light perception in my right eye. My left eye, completely blacked out. What I see looking right now is like a purplish blue look is what it's like. It's like you got punched in the eye and your eye swollen shut.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that's what it seems like.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what I see, man.
So tell us, because we got to keep this thing pushing a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell us about in the video, and for all of y'all listening, we're gonna put the video link out there for you to check it out as well, because it's really powerful.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about Hurt, Heal, Let It Go, because obviously you have dibbled and dabbled in all three of those things, and so I feel like when I was listening to the video, I was thinking to myself, this is really strong, and this is something that for all of us, whether you are sighted or not, no matter where you are in your life, I think that's a really strong mantra.
Yeah. I'm not trying to push any religion or anything like that, but everybody can thank God on this one, because this was dropped into my pastor as a sermon. Hurt, heal, let it go. And as I'm sitting there listening to the sermon, God also put in my heart to create a T-shirt out of this shirt. Now, let me talk about the T-shirt real quick, because that'll go into my what it means to me. Okay, so hurt, heal, let it go are the three little lines I have on it, basically. So for hurt, I got a Band-Aid covering it, and it's like transparent. So when you're hurt, you got to cover up your wounds, and then when you're healing, it's gonna take time. So I put a little wristwatch up there beside the time or the word heal, so you can take time to heal. That is key. Time is key to healing. And then when you let it go, I put angel wings on each side of let it go, of the words let it go. And what that means is, man, let it go. Give it to God. Stop trying to hold on to those burdens that are weighing you down, because it ain't doing nothing for you. Let it go.
Okay. I see.
You know what I'm saying? And the only color that shirt can be bought in, or be worn in, or you will see worn in, is red. And I said the only way you can do all this is through the blood of Jesus.
Man, he taking us to church over here.
Hey, come on, man.
Exactly.
Hey, come on, man. I told you this was dropped in my spirit. I didn't come up with this on my own. You know what I'm saying? See, if I was this creative, I would be like, "Oh, I did this. I'm Picasso." No, I'm not.
Where are the shirts though? Can we purchase a shirt? Can we support that?
So the thing is, I made this order like it was kind of a special deal I did with my church. But if I do get back out to making shirts, which I do plan on, I'm trying to do a collaboration with one of my friends because they're into the the retail type deal and apparel. So I'm trying to collab with them, and so that they could be on their website. But we have not talked yet, so I'm not gonna put it out there until it's official. So when it is official, trust me, Site School will know something about it. Okay.
Hey, we're gonna make sure to get that thing out there.
Yeah.
And is this going to be part of Kiwi Enterprise?
Now, okay, so Kiwi Enterprise, that's a little separate. That's a different type of business right there. That's where I put my website design and management and my photography and my social media marketing all together. So that kind of ties up to that. Kiwi Enterprise is like my little baby that I birthed in 2017, actually, the same year as my accident.
Okay.
That January 3rd is when Kiwi Enterprise was birthed in 2017, and that was short lived for a little while, but it's not over. I will say that it is not over. So keep on the lookout. I am still working with it. It's like dormant right now.
So
Now
can
let
you
me.
give us go ahead, Lex, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say now before we kind of move off of the
Hurt
the
heel.
injury, the accident. So
Oh,
May
okay.
5th is when you had the accident, probably your first operations. When was the date where they said, you know what, this is the last like the last operation, this is the last physical therapy session or whatnot, and now he's in the position where he can go out and do his thing.
Okay, so I was released from UNC Hospital July the 7th, but I was still getting like in-home health therapy, but
Okay.
I switched that over to like Duke. So they were coming here since Duke is in Durham.
Womp,
They were
womp,
sending.
womp.
Yeah, I know they
Yeah.
suck, man. They made everything. They made everything last longer. I should have been done a long time ago. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, they send their in-home health therapists to come through. I had occupational therapy and physical therapy because I had to learn how to eat and kind of
Right.
talk. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but every now and then I kind of slur a word. But yeah, that shows you how badly my mouth was damaged.
Mhm.
You
Um,
also had to learn how to walk again, right? Am I correct on
yeah,
that?
man, yeah. So I had to learn how to walk, and that's where the physical therapy came in. Walking, standing. I actually had a little issue with my left hand. I don't know what's going on with my index finger, but I still have to, mess with it every day. So, learning how to walk again was, man, challenging to say the least. When you just felt like you were on a I was on a fast track with business, with the Air Force, with school, and just in my life in general. And then I gotta go to walking again. Like, what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt like everything was being brought down on me. I'm like, why did this happen? And you just want to keep saying, why did this happen? But that's even
Yeah.
what my whole motivational speech was about that Lex keeps hinting at. I titled it "Why Not Me," because I understood that God chose me to live this life. There was a reason I was the one who was selected to live this. He knew I could handle it. He was like, "You're my toughest warrior. Why wouldn't I give it to you?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna give it to the weak at heart. He's trying to give it
Yeah.
to somebody who can handle this. So once once I understood, that's where he put that title in my heart, man. And I just ran with it. I said, I understand. I understand.
So
Um,
so
but go ahead.
with your accident, right? You had a lot
Mhm.
of physical changes happen. You had a lot of obstacles you had to overcome. But one thing that really that has stuck with you, right? That we
Mhm.
should say is that you're gonna have is that vision loss. So what are the procedures and the processes you were going through since you've been out of the hospital, right? That was what, some years ago. Since you've been out to
Yeah.
today, what
Mhm.
has that process looked like? What programs or things have you gone through or that you're involved with now to help you not only cope but understand and for Kijuan to be the best Kijuan possible, even though he's now visually impaired?
I will say this. The VA and the blind rehab centers with the VA and disability services for the blind, the career training center over in Raleigh, they have both, been very helpful because it basically taught me how to live this life of a visual impaired person, VIP. Y'all know what we are, VIPs, man. So they taught me and helped me to put my next foot forward as a VIP. Um, I I have really done great at it. A lot of people are like, man, you know how to use your phone. How you doing that? oh man, you using a computer? How you doing that? I can't say it's all me. I mean, I get the understanding of knowing how to use a computer because I did it before my accident. But you doing it with voiceover or with jaws, man, that's a whole nother level. You
Yeah.
gotta learn this stuff. You know, it's like learning a new language. Just like
The
with
body
Braille, you
adapts
know what I'm
though.
saying? Yeah. So it's even like with Braille, that's a whole nother language. I know my ABCs. I know how to count to 25 million. But at the same sense, I gotta learn how to feel it. I gotta learn how to write it. So they have been really helpful, man, and in teaching me this stuff, especially orientation and mobility. I just cannot sit down to save my life. I want to get out the house so bad, and man, this coronavirus need to go on about its business. This ain't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever playing this game need to turn it off.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but
But I
anyway,
mean,
yeah,
that's
man.
essentially that's you. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that,
yeah.
hearing about your childhood, everything that you were involved in, I mean, you're basically just returning back to your the purest form of Kijuan. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to get back out here and continue to conquer life.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to
And
get pushing.
yeah, so you've hurt, you've healed, and you've let it go. And so I want to know, where are you going right
Yeah,
now?
man.
Where are you
That's a
going?
good question. That right there is a really great question. I'll be glad to tell you that. So we know about Kiwi Enterprise, how it's dormant. So I'm still working. That's still a work in progress. I got some great ideas for that in mind. Now with the next step, I already told y'all I'm doing some motivational and inspirational speaking. I'm still doing that. I'm setting up platforms so that I'm trying to focus on the young, the young or the youth, shall I say, high
Right.
school and college. Those are my two, top priorities. And then of course I'm going to talk to some of the military veterans who've been disabled. Like Wounded Warrior type project
Yeah.
people
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. That's my avenue I'm trying to get onto as well.
So my thing, real quick, is just how was your vision loss? Did that affect your family and your friends throughout this
Oh man,
process?
oh my goodness, that right there is a tough question. It's really tough because the people you thought were there, the people you thought were in your corner, and people you were even talking to and had your back at the time, you realize that they were just there for the material. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. And then you got the family side of it, who in the beginning, was in such denial. Now, and I told y'all I got a religious background. Now, my family is very religious as well. So, in the book, it talks about how Jesus, healed the sight, healed the blind. And everybody's like, praying for me, praying I'll get my sight back. I'm like, that's great. That's great. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm gonna live my best life without it. And I
Man,
know
I
I
I
can't.
I I think that's something that you just said, something that I think a lot of people should really grasp hold to. With
Hmm.
me working in a school for the blind, I've worked at two schools for the blind, and when you come across some parents or some students who really want, oh, I'm gonna get my sight back, I'm gonna get my sight back. And what happens is they're so focused on what could
Hmm.
happen and in the future, they're not
There you go.
seeing the present. So for you to say, in the meantime, that's very important, and not just for people who are blind and visually impaired, not just for people with disabilities, everybody. We got to spend a lot of time in the now.
Because that actually leads up to what I was about to say. As in, people sending me articles talking about, oh yeah, these doctors doing research. They said they, redoing cells and stuff in people's eyes. And so I'm like, that's cool and all. Did it work? Oh, it
I
didn't yet.
mean,
Oh,
I've
okay,
been getting
cool.
that. I've been getting that all my life.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
So
so man, come on now, don't send me that stuff unless it's 100% successful. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
want to hear nothing about no 20% success rate. Hey, you get out my face. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You ain't doing that. You're not helping me. You're not helping. That's
yeah,
really hindering me because
you're trying
now
to move
you're
forward
still
in
in.
life.
Yeah.
yeah.
What I see it as is you're still in denial, and I've moved on.
There you go.
Help
And
me
that
help
I think
you.
I think that's the most impact that you can have on people is when they like are trying to keep you in the place that you're not there. You're not in that spot no more. You've moved on, so you can help them once you get that voice and say, hey, I'm moving into the present. If it's going to work 100%, then great. Maybe I'll take the chance. Maybe I won't. But I'm moving forward with the gift that God has given me, and He gave you your voice back. You know what I mean? You got your hands. You got your mind. They were talking about in the hospital. They were saying you might not be able to like
Remember.
what was it like remember everything, or like
Yeah.
you might have like really bad memory and stuff. But you got all those gifts back to move your life forward, and you gotta let people know like, hey, what you're doing right there, that's not keeping me. That's not moving me forward. So let's go.
Listen, I had the best. I'm glad you brought up the remembering thing, because remembering is very great. And with the traumatic brain injury that I sustained, and having a neurologist, look at that X-ray and MRI, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Is this yours?" And I'm like, "I'm hoping so, because I can't see the picture." But he was so astounded, because he was like looking at me as if I shouldn't have been here. Again, this is not even my back. This is not even my face. This ain't my legs. You know what I'm saying? This is my brain he's looking at. He's like, you should be brain dead or a vegetable. Looking at these images. And then then that's why they were so, so stuck on me not remembering things. And I had this one psychologist, or whatever he is, but a psychologist, I think it was. And he said, man, look, your brain is better than mine. And I ain't never had a traumatic brain injury. Like with the way I was remembering this stuff, because it was putting me through these memory games. And I said, okay, well, this is gonna be hard, but all right, because I used to use visual cues to like remember things, and now I can only use either my hands or my brain.
Yeah.
And I was killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. At the end of the day, I think that for you, you know what you want, and you know where you want to go, and for your family and friends who this is a new experience for them, and it's a challenge for them, and it's totally something that they're trying to embrace. I think for you to be able to have that initiative and know clearly exactly, all right, well, this is who I am. I'm cool with it. Like, I've let this go already. I'm trying to move on. How can we get to the next rung of the ladder, and the next rung of the ladder, and the next rung of the ladder? For you to have that type of just like willpower and drive and persistence, that's a blessing in itself, because like your family and friends, they don't have any choice to do but follow along. And if they don't follow along, hey, mom, dad, bro, like, we need to talk about this. Like, it's okay. Like, this is the reality. I've accepted it, and follow my lead. I'm trying to go out here. I'm trying to change lives. I got these motivational and inspirational talks to give. I got to change leaders' lives. I got to help them run their businesses better. I have to help families. I have to do all of these things. And so, if it appears as though you are an obstacle, and not to say that they are an obstacle, but if it feels like you're slowing my progress down, we got to talk about this. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, every single one of us, we have a finite amount of time on this earth, and we got to use that time as best as possible. And if you kind of creating that bottleneck, that ain't really helping.
Right.
So, hey man, listen. 3 years ago, it was we coming up on 4 years. What, May 5th, 2021. So, excuse me. But 3.5 years ago, life totally changed for you. But for you to be at this point, I think is an absolute, that's a testimony at the end of the day, because there's a lot of people out here who experience trauma in life and can't get over it 20 years later. So that is, I mean, kudos to you. That is a testament for sure. And the mission for us is is to teach people to see, and specifically to see their potential. And so before we close this thing out, I just want to give you the floor one last time to just share something that will impact the listeners, something that will help them to see their own unique vision and potential as we move forward, especially during, I mean, 2020 has been a challenging year for everybody. And I
Right.
know you got something inside of you to share with the people before we shut this thing down.
I want to leave y'all with my quote because this is what pushed me to start my motivational speaking business and this coaching business that I'm about to start. But my quote is, I may have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision, because I'm a visionary. I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm a visionary, and I have to say, I have to tell a lot of people that I might have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that today, man. And I appreciate the Site School for having me on. Y'all been great, man.
Man,
Ah,
hey.
man, we need to be thanking you.
We thank you. But
Hey,
first of
let's
all,
do it,
hey,
man.
for real, first off, man, thank you for your service. For real, bro.
Oh, I
Like,
appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I
man, come
appreciate
on.
it.
Like, we done ran around with, USA on our chest, but you was out here doing it like for real. So
Boom
salute
operator.
yeah, salute to you for real, man. Like,
Hey, I
but
appreciate that.
also we gotta give a huge shout out though to Miss Janet Perez, because
Hey,
she was the one who dropped that little nugget and
yeah.
connected us, and then we all were able to get in touch. So, man, to Miss Perez, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Miss Perez.
Absolutely.
Yup.
Absolutely. Miss Perez she always looking out for the young brothers. So
I
Yeah.
know, right?
for sure. All right. Hey, well, with no further ado, appreciate you, Kijuan, man. Appreciate your story. Appreciate you being so transparent and honest. I know everybody's going to enjoy this. Always a pleasure to have my main man, Markeith, on the line with us, and Joseph
Yes, sir.
as well. We're going to sign up out of here. This is Site School, where we are teaching people to see.
Peace out.